Okay, so we're here today with Mr Bob McCabe. I've known Bob probably for about 12 years, I think, since I joined Oxford in 1910. But I am really ashamed to say this is the first time I've actually been up to visit Bob and see his shed. Bob, do you want to just quickly introduce yourself, say how long you've been a member of the BS and how long you've been judging and so forth?
Yeah. I'm life honorary member of the BS, so I guess it must be in excess of 40 years. So I think it's 43 years I've been in the BS continuously. When I got to champion status after 10-12 years, I then did my 3-year judges training scheme. 3 years in those days it was. I believe it's less now. And passed. Be trainee judge of the year, which was sure the judgment, but that's what we got. That was, and on that particular year there was 14 other people took the exam as well. And so I've always been fortunate for the last 20 odd years to get judging engagements.
And you've done the club show?
I've done the club show 4 times, yeah. The beauty of being trainee judge of the year is you get invited, you get invited to judge the club show a little bit prematurely. In other words, about 3 years after you take that, you automatically get to judge it. So that would be 96, 97. I judged the club show for the first time, and then I've been fortunate to judge it 3 other times during between then and now. So yeah, which has been great. As I say, I've had plenty of yeah. This is my
as you can see, this is outside Bob's bird room. What I'll do now is I'll go out a shot. Bob can introduce us to his bird room, and then we'll go in and take a look at the setup inside.
Okay. Yeah, this is. Fortunately, we've got a reasonable sized garden. The bird room isn't visually spectacular, I'm afraid, but it's concrete panels. I think everybody recognises these panels. There was a period of time, I guess, in the 1990s, Washington's, there was a company that made garages and coal bunkers, and a very good friend of mine, Charlie Keatley, happened to work for this company, so we acquired a building like this. The beauty of it is, to say, it's not particularly attractive, these panels, but it doesn't rot like wood, so it's still here. I guess if we'd have moved house, we would have probably improved a new bird room, maybe an improvement on what I've got. I've got 2 flights, two flights either end of the bird room, the bird room in the centre here. I don't let the birds out necessarily throughout the winter months. As you'll see, there are some flights inside, and I try not to overcrowd, so the flights are not generally used outside. Also, if I don't able to get the birds in at night, I don't really want them out at night. Another little issue we do have is sparrowhawks. We got some fir trees at the top of the garden where there's a sparrowhawk that seems to be regularly, normally in the September, October, November time. She sits up there and will dive at the flights. I have got some netting there with some sticks that hold the netting off of the wire, but I still lose birds 2 ways. One is, I believe that they panic in there when she dives at them and they hit the side of the fence. But 2, 3 birds in this flight here, they must fly to the wire, and the hawk just pulled the leg off of the birds, and they're just led in the bottom of the flight with the leg missing, which obviously then is the end. I've read somewhere that if you have an owl above the bird room, then that will deter her. Not in slightest. In fact, it comes and perches next to the owl. So if anybody tells you that, completely useless. How you obviously they're protected birds, so you can't take any other action than try and deter by some forms of netting. I know a very good friend of mine, Roger Carr, he has an identical situation. Obviously the noise of the birds attracts the hen, the hawk here at certain times of the year, but it's something that they have to put up with. And I probably those 5-6 birds a year, maybe some people could think an alternative method of deterring it is getting rid of it, but I can't. So yeah. Yeah, I've only got a very comparatively small setup. I have 12 breeding cages that you can see. Nest boxes on the outside. Quite simple. I'll use a box within a box. I find especially as the years go by you can have accidents through these sort of unsteady, but that's one way that I use a box within a box for the high ones. Take them out, you have to look inside. The other one is quite straight similar, but the other is you can take the box out with the eggs in. I do number the eggs as they're laid, which is probably not the norm. I do a fair bit of fostering, only having 12 pairs, and if I should be lucky enough to, I mean there's a spangled hen up there that's got 7 full eggs. I find that if they're numbered, it allows me to foster with more success if they're numbered, but it's not everybody's idea of doing that. Through the years I could have increased and had more breeding cages, but in the early days with 4 children and other things to do, 4 cages is still enough. I don't want to pair up birds that I don't feel, I'm not saying good enough, but I try to pair up the best 12 pairs that I've got, and also that the ones that fail, often hens, it allows me spare hens to replace them, rather than thinking, oh dear, I've used all my hens up. So that's how I operate.
So Bob, can I just check?
Yeah.
So you breed, you visually pair up your best birds. Do you base any of it on where they twin bred from?
Yeah, I don't purchase an awful lot of birds, and there is a minefield there. On you say, well, they're not related, but you can relate. You can pair too closely, and so I basically mostly visual, but I do really avoid. I've never done father to daughter, you know, brother, sister, anything like that, but I do try. But I have proved during the year that if you bring it out across and you're lucky, then you'll find that it does breed more prolifically. Not always, but just sometimes. So the answer to that is yeah. I do try to, obviously the easy thing to deal with is you don't two flat coastlines you wouldn't put together. Two really coarse feathered birds or birds with feather problems you wouldn't consider put together. But it is a minefield on pairing up. But so that's where I draw the line on them. as you can see, very basic. I use cards on the front with the various from the BSAR. I do my own cards, but it's that surplus cash, I think, now, to be able to afford cards. But, obviously when it's laid, and then a blue dot, a red dot, means that the eggs are fertile, there, and therefore, hopefully, you would expect them to hatch. This year I haven't been too bad there, it's just sort of nearly two a box, not quite. I have had a lot of dead in shell, but compared with the number of red dots that you can see, I've only got sort of one or two or three in the nest, whereas you'd have a lot more. I don't use heating. The building isn't terribly well insulated, and we do get bad weather. But when I tried heating, it's very difficult to achieve constant temperature. So all I would say is the chicks that I've got here now have survived some pretty cruel weather and come through it all right. But I have a lighting that's on a time clock, also a photoelectric cell that comes on and off should it go dark during the day or the weather alters, it does override and bring the lights on there. I should get that bit right, being electric is 52 years.
Your cages, Bob, they're actually quite long, aren't they?
They are.
Big.
That's right. I mean, they're 3 foot at that end and this end. It's just suit my method of doing things. I leave the chicks in here a lot longer than most people.
How long would you leave the chick in there with her parents?
Why? Sorry?
How long?
Oh, yeah. Well, it basically depends upon the chick. I normally look at if a chick sits on the perch, then it's ready. It can be moved on because you think it's self-sufficient. Another thing that they do is the tails. If you've got the tail is grown, then that normally tells you. I know you're asking me how many weeks, but because they're large cages, I don't feel pressure on them to move. If they were small cages, I think the cock and the hen, and you can have friction and complicate. Another thing I do, which is something that maybe most people wouldn't bother with, I've got old nest boxes, and I put them in to when the chicks come out, and that gives them a hideaway, which also, as I say, takes the pressure off of me moving them prematurely. I can't remember losing a chick that's been left beyond, we'll say, 5 or 6 weeks or something. It's not a problem. When I do decide to take these, I will be taking. I normally like to take a lot away and several at one time. So I have some wire cages that I have on this shelf that I transfer the youngster to in there. They stay in there for some time until I'm convinced that, well, basically the weather's improved, and they're obviously feeding and going on. I then move in April time or whatever into the flight at that end. They're all young birds at the far end. They're young birds there, and the adults go on the far end. That's basically how I do it year after year. I try and tweak things each year. This year I put clear perspex, well, fairly clear perspex dividers. Don't know whether it makes any difference, but my very good friend Terry Sadler obtained good perspex for it, so I put them between there. These things that you can do, you never know, I'm not
Is that to try and give the birds view of the other pairs?
Yeah, that's what I mean. A lot of people people that encourage the wire cages say that so they could see each other and there's a rapport, and it improves their lot, as it were, motivates them, shall we say.
Sort of almost closer to colony breeding almost, but keeping them separate.
That's right, yeah. But I'm never satisfied with each year. I never have been, never will be. Unless I could produce 4 in every nest, every time, I would then, because after having it for so long, you think that we could, it's a good job I don't do it for a living. If I was a farmer, I would starve. Because you know, when you think you know a lot and you don't, you get some pairs that will produce 7 chicks, and you'll get another pair that will produce 1 each time. They're beyond your control, but you're still obliged to make an effort.
And when do you start pairing up?
Yeah, well, I've always played the game, rightly or wrongly, to the BS ring delivery. So obviously they've gone down a month earlier in the last 2 years because of the new ring. That would seem rather strange, but I do enjoy early stock shows. Budgerigar, which is a rares and specialist, so I haven't got many. I've only got 1, 2 pies and 2 spangles. I do enjoy going there because it's the beginning of the season, and I quite enjoy that. Therefore, obviously, to go there, I've had varying success there. You have to pair up early. There's no doubt, once you've lost a couple of months, then Budgerigar, which I think is June, is out of reach to you.
So. I suppose especially if you lose that first couple of rounds out, or the first round doesn't go very well and you only get a couple of birds out of it, you're then stuck.
Yeah. So generally speaking, I quite enjoy showing young stock, young birds as well. They are your own as well. You don't compete against people that have brought their own, but that's not the concern to me. And also, I will end your path as well. I've looked to do something in the winter times, there's only so much television you can absorb, and with having 4 children, it's probably good to seek refuge up here on a regular basis. But yes, I've always tried to struggle through the winter and breed birds, yeah.
And what's your feeding regime?
Yeah, once again, because I'm retired, and I do sort of, I don't know whether I go over the top or not, but I have mixed millet that I buy from DFO Roger Parr and canary, plain canary. So I do a 50-50 mix. So I have the bags there in the shed next door, which is just feed in. When I put that shed up at the end there, wooden shed, I vowed I would never let a bird go in there. So I know what will happen, I shall put a cage in there, and I shall have, I've got a pet, I'll put in it. But I've resisted that for the last 25 years. Never have a cage in there. Anyway, that's my seed shed, which is that, which I buy the bag, get the bags, and I have tubs that I mix 50-50.
And soft food?
And with the seed as well, I also do tonic and canary, plain canary. So what I've got is a mixture, plus I feed them separate. I've got time on my hands, so I just coffee shop tops. I put canary and tonic in that. Some birds take it, some birds don't. So it's, having time in my on the hands, it's something that I do. As I say, some relative. Though it's soared in price, millet sprays. I use quite a lot of millet sprays. not en masse as it were, but in the cage, especially with the youngsters.
Do you put a bit of millet in the nest box?
Yeah, yeah. I would cut an inch.
Yeah.
As the expense goes up, it's getting smaller. But yeah, so I do put it in the nest box as well. Yeah. But yeah, the chicks do relish. It's how it's presented. I don't think it's necessarily millet. It's just a natural way, and they seem to enjoy it. As do the adults. Yeah. With the soft food, it's basically vegetables. There, I haven't really been happy with. They don't relish it like yesteryear. What I mean was that I know soap goats, they used to go crazy for it, but when the birds have developed the taste, like maybe you also, but they don't relish. They used to clean it up at one time, and that. I'd use soap oats, corn on the cob, carrot. A little bit of lettuce chopped up, and I mix it together and put it in these the little white pots. And I also put it in a finger drawer, because there's a lot of food is how you present it. Some will take it out of the finger drawer or the pot there, vice versa. For some strange reason, they don't consume a lot of it, I must admit. So you have to get the consistency right in there, so it's not too wet. I do use one of the proprietary soft feeds. I got a CD, I think. But as I say, I'm still not 100% sure how much is necessary. I know a good friend of ours, Neville East, he really sort of poo-hoos soft foods, because he does just vegetables, but he does have a taste that, the soft food manner that you buy, they don't eat. I partly support that. But,
and you've got grit in every cage?
Yeah, I use grit. Once again, it's something that everybody has different ideas about. Whether my birds are always digging outside when they're outside in the gravel. Some people would advocate that is, they can pick up grit. Some people swear by grit because they say the digestive system. Some people don't bother at all. So, but yeah, for the price of grit, I do give them grit. When I top the dishes up, they do seem to dig about in it. So, if they do that for me, then I'll provide them with. Yeah, iodine blocks. I always. There are things that you do that's just habit forming. If you do it for 40 years, you'll carry on doing it. I do, then also each day top up the, get it from Terry's at the Adams, I don't know what it's called now.
Seaweed, looks like seaweed.
No, not smooth and fold. Anyway, that's the thing that the Adams provide for Terry Sadler. I put it in the
like a thriving
gloss.
Thriving gloss, yeah.
Yeah, thriving gloss. Once again, some take it, some don't. Some just hook it out. End of story, on the floor. But if it occupies them, then they have it. You see what I mean? Yeah. I regularly change the water. Every 2-3 days. Two reasons. One is that the water can get stale, but I find very often they foul in the water. So you can have, if you change it once a week, you can find that if one had messed in the, if they use it as a parrot sometimes, you'll find that that's messed up and they don't drink it, then they haven't had a drink for a week. So I do for what's involved, but once again, that all goes back to the days that if you've got a manageable stud. For 12 drinkers, it's no big deal. Whereas if I had 50, 60, you know, you would perhaps give it a bit more thought and it would take a longer job to do, wouldn't it? Yeah.
And do you put any supplements in the drinkers? Calcium or anything?
Yeah, I'll use the Asia form. I don't use the strength of it, and I use 50% of what's recommended, but yes, I do use it all the time in there, and I do use the calcium supplement. We don't truly understand how much is required and that, but I do once every few weeks have a few days where it is in the supplement. But, yeah, I mean, I normally do have the bone, you know, the
Cuttlefish.
yeah, cuttlefish, but they seem to be difficult to get now, and so I haven't made it available. Once again, some people say it's essential, some people say that it just grinds it down on the floor, and end of story. So yeah, to say cuttlefish is probably the only thing that I haven't done this year. I don't know whether that's really made any significant difference. I'm assuming we're talking about egg production.
Yeah.
With that, but yeah. So that basically, yeah, I think that's basically. Obviously the lights come on at sort of 7 o'clock and go off at 9 o'clock at night. And as I say, with the photoelectrics at 8, so when the sun comes out, he switches the lights off, and when it goes dull, they come on as well. So I think probably light is the most important thing for the birds. That seems to encourage activity. Yeah, you know, I've got, I suppose there's 80 or 90 birds here. We've got the old age pensioners as well. Most of them, these are older ones that I keep, and they stay here till they fall off the perch, and they say they are the current youngsters from last year, basically later bred ones, and then obviously there's some in here that were youngsters that are breeding, or at least I hope they'll breed. I don't like to carry on. I don't breed all the way through the year, because I like to do. I like to split my time into sort of 3 sections. That's breeding, showing, and judging. I don't over keen on them overlapping too much. So as I say, I normally try and basically, you know, probably 5 months of breeding, depending on how many I breed, sometimes less, sometimes more. And then of course we go into the showing, young stock shows, etc, and the main shows, championship shows, and then judging commitments when they appear. So that's basically I have an extractor fan there, that 9-inch fan that comes on at the wall one. I don't use the ceiling fan, but that one, that's on a time clock that comes on about an hour before in the morning. Comes on about an hour before I come up here. I come up here normally at 8 o'clock, and that's been on for an hour, and then it switches itself off. And that I just imagine that it might just clear the air before from the night. Because we all have, I would say breathing issues, but we all can have a good cough after being in the bird sometimes. So that that's my effort of trying to clean the air prior to me coming in after a night of being closed up.
Perfect, Bob. Thank you very much.
You're right. You're very welcome.
Well, thanks very much, Bob, for showing us around your shed. Hopefully we'll pop up at some stage once you finish breeding and we can get through in cages and we can have a look at some of the wonderful birds that you've bred this year.
Right, you're welcome.
No problem at all. So all I can say is on behalf of all those people watching the video, thousands of people, thank you very much for sharing it with us.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you again.
You're welcome.
Cheers, Bob.
Thanks for your trouble.